The Weather Extreme video. This is the afternoon edition for Monday, the 28th of November. I'm James Spann. Very active weather. The dual threat of heavy rain and severe storms tonight and tomorrow night. Let's go in there and discuss things and see if we can answer all your questions. We start with the water vapor satellite view, a large-scale upper trough set up west of the state. That's providing the good dynamic support that is a very active look for Alabama in the eastern states. Temperatures this afternoon, mostly in the upper 60s and low 70s, Tuscaloosa 73. But more importantly, the dew points are up. If you watched this morning, the dew points were in the 30s. They are now in the 50s, and by tomorrow night, they will be in the 60s, with very moist air moving up this way. That's the radar this afternoon. Rain falling over northwest Alabama from roughly north of a line from near Millport to Jasper to Huntsville. Nothing severe. In fact, no thunder and lightning there, just rain. The big issue for the moment, the gradient wind. Very tight pressure gradients across the region, producing strong wind gusts, non-thunderstorm winds, gusting to 30, 40, 45 miles an hour. That's knocked down some trees and power lines. Most of Alabama, all of Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky involved in those wind advisories. And we also note off to the west a tornado watch for parts of Louisiana and Texas, and this new watch just issued over into Mississippi for the evening hours, and obviously we'll watch developments there carefully. I don't expect a tornado watch here tonight. If we have one, more than likely it's going to be a severe thunderstorm watch. New convective outlooks. This is the outlook for the rest of today and tonight. There is an enhanced risk over a small part of Louisiana and Mississippi. The standard slight risk extends into West Alabama. The marginal risk all the way to the Georgia state line. And the main issue tonight will be strong straight-line winds, although we can't totally rule out the chance of a tornado, especially in that slight risk over West Alabama. Now, this is for tomorrow night, round two. The standard risk for much of north and central Alabama, basically areas west of a line from near Gadsden to Verbena to Mobile. A marginal risk a little farther to the south and east. And really, this second round tomorrow night will offer the most significant severe weather threat here, as you'll see. Then on day three, this is Wednesday, a marginal risk from the Gulf Coast up to Chesapeake Bay in Alabama. A marginal risk for Wednesday, mainly south of a line from Gadsden down to Selma and Mobile, the areas in darker green. And we'll go through all of this in the maps here. But this is the positive news. We are the award winner. This is the rain for the next 7 days. Valid through Tuesday of next week. The bullseye right on Birmingham at 4.6 inches. How about them apples? We need about 8 to 12 inches, a foot, to get out of the drought. So, no, we won't get out of the drought. But, boy, is this a really good start to busting that thing. All right, so let's take a look at the situation here. This is the GFS, the 12Z run, valid tomorrow at noon, and you can see the trough axis still to the west. We have a disturbed southwest flow aloft and a vorticity max through over New Mexico and West Texas. That will be setting up the round two tomorrow night. Now, for tonight, this is the current instability this afternoon, and really we don't have any surface-based cape here. The unstable air is basically over Louisiana. That is advecting up into Mississippi, and that's going to be the limiting factor. And again, we could see a storm with strong winds, and obviously these gradient winds are just fierce, but some of the storms could produce some strong straight-line winds. But with the lack of instability, I would say that will prevent a tornado threat for Alabama tonight. The chance of a tornado is not zero, but it's a very small threat, the main threat from gusty winds. This is the high-res HER valid this evening at 9 o'clock, and at that point, the band of storms coming through Anniston, Gadsden, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa. So in terms of round one tonight, the main window for the heavier storms, I'd say about 7 o'clock tonight until maybe 3 a.m. Early tomorrow morning. And here's a peek of the STP at 9 o'clock tonight, the significant tornado parameter. You can see that the numbers are over 1 unit over southwest Alabama. If we do have a tornado in the state, that would be the better opportunity where the air is most unstable down in that part of the state. Now, during the day tomorrow, I think a decent part of the day will be dry. The sun out at times, temperatures climbing up into the mid to upper 70s, dew points rising up into the 60s. And a shower possible during the day, but again, the bulk of the daytime hours dry. But goodness, look at the air mass at midnight tomorrow night, 12 a.m. Wednesday. Dew points in the mid to upper 60s. very juicy air, and that is also unstable air. This is surface-based CAPE. And the values are well over 1,000 joules per kilogram for much of the state. This is the helicity, 0 to 3 kilometer helicity, SRH, storm relative helicity, and the max values are over northwest Alabama. And it seems to be the better combination of helicity and instability will be over that part of the state. And accordingly, this is the STP, the significant tornado parameter, midnight tomorrow night. And the numbers exceed 2 units over parts of northwest Alabama. Lamar, Marion, Fayette, Walker, Winston, Lawrence counties, and places like that. But clearly, I think the higher severe weather threat will be tomorrow night. All modes of severe weather possible. We could see a few storms with damaging winds, hail, and maybe a few tornadoes. And I'd say the main window will be from about 9 o'clock tomorrow night until 6 a.m. Wednesday. So it's going to be a long night in the weather office for round 2. Now, during the day Wednesday, this is midday off the GFS. You can see a surface boundary pushing in from the northwest. This is the high-res NAM at 9 o'clock Wednesday morning. At that point, the rain is ending in Birmingham. So, again, in terms of the rain, the main window for the heavier storms should end early Wednesday morning. And then by Wednesday afternoon, the sky begins to clear. We should go fair Wednesday night. And Thursday, we're just cool and dry. Should be a sunny day, lows in the 30s, highs in the 50s. Same thing on Friday. A cool, dry day with a good supply of sunshine. Now, for the weekend, we're watching the new disturbance west of the state. At this point, Saturday looks dry. Again, 30s and 50s, rain to the west. This is Sunday, rain creeping into South Alabama. And for the moment, we will mention that in the forecast. The northern counties could be dry, but more than likely a warm front will be pushing north, and that should set the stage for a pretty good rain event sometime early next week, if not maybe as early as Sunday night. This is a week from today, Monday the 5th of December. The GFS in this run keeping the troughing pretty far to the west, and it keeps the rain to the west, and then it brings it in on the following day on Tuesday, December the 6th. But the timing will probably change. I would not be shocked if we saw rain sooner than this, maybe Sunday night or Monday of that weekend. We'll see. Understand the timing clearly could change. And this is the end of the forecast period. This is Thursday of next week, the 8th of December, and another very deep trough to the west and another very impressive-looking storm. And if this verifies, that'd be a blizzard for parts of Oklahoma and Kansas and Missouri, and we would have rain and maybe some thunder here. So a very active pattern for December. Here's the model output from the GFS on QPF, and again, that looks good. The European Ensemble for the next 45 days looks good. So as expected, after the pattern flip we had back in mid-November, things are getting pretty active around here, and it sure looks like we're going to make a pretty big dent in this drought by the end of the year. Numbers much cooler after the rains, highs in the 50s and lows in the 30s. And overall, temperature is pretty seasonal on through mid-month. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video today. We'll have notes in the blog. The next video here by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Can catch us this evening on the live stream of the television side, ABC 3340 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening, and God bless.